how can you do content creation if you already have a full-time job or a part-time job on top of that? Because I get it, like you don't have a lot of time, you're struggling to stay organized, and it's causing you to not stay consistent or literally feeling burnt out and you're feeling overwhelmed. And I really get it because I used to be exactly where you are. I want to help you so that you can feel so confident in what you have to do to balance both at the same time without any stress. Welcome back to the Power of Personal Branding and Manifestation podcast with your host. It's me, Malika, content creator, entrepreneur, and your girl to personal branding. Creating content in order to build your personal brand has to become a priority because this is the number one marketing strategy that will guarantee your success if you eventually want to quit your job that you are at right now and you want to do your business full-time, or you want to do your content creation or passion full-time. You need to be able to make time for that. First off, let's start with organizing your content, because if you're not organized, I'm guessing it's not really going so well. And I get it because I used to do my content creation literally all over the fucking place. So I am no one to judge. Okay, I get it, but we can do better, okay? Especially if you're trying to manage both at the same time. You have limited time, right? So we need to organize our content, okay? So the goal here is to really create an outline for you to know exactly where you're going with your content, so that this can, number one, saves you time, but also create an effective strategy that works for you in order to be getting the result that you're looking to have, so that you can also attract the right kind of clientele and audience that you're looking to have, right? And so first thing you're gonna figure out on your little notebook, okay, is going to be what are the main topics that you are going to be touching when creating your content, right? And so next up is going to be, how are you catching their attention, right? So why should people care about that content that you are creating? And then third, you are going to list 3 to 5 key points of what you are going to be touching or talking about, or what you want to say in that video, because this is going to save you so much time. Because if you are going to film and you have no idea what you're gonna say or whatever, what ends up happening is that you just redo 3,000 takes, and then you're not happy with it, and then you just give up, and then there's no content, okay? The goal here is to somewhat organize your content so that this can save you time when you do go to film your content, so that you know where you're going, right? And something else that I want to touch on, which I don't hear a lot of people talking about, which is to work smarter and not harder, okay? I always say this to my clients, okay? For example, you can make content creation easy if, for example, okay, you do live talking videos, right? Because you're just talking in your video, and you can do short form video where you're just talking. And so this is so easy. Or you can use a green screen, right? When you use you just see your face and then you have a green screen behind you, super easy to do. Something else that is great to do is to split one video into 3 videos. 3 videos. And so instead of trying to put everything and jacking up this one video, you can just separate these videos into 3 videos. And so you're making more content with less effort and time. And so this is what it means to be working smarter and not harder. Now that we've created your little guideline for you of where you're going with your content creation, now it's time to talk about how you can stay consistent, because obviously if you're not consistent, it's really hard to grow your business or to grow an audience that will care about you, what you have to offer, right? Because people don't really get that trust in you, because especially as an outside viewer, if you yourself are not committed to creating content, why should I commit to following you? Because I want to be committed to you first creating that content. And if you're not even committed, why should I be committed to you? And so how you will be able to actually stay consistent is by creating a schedule that will work for you, which we will touch a bit later on into the video, but stay with me, okay? Now, I will say that it's so much better to, for example, stay consistent by posting 1 time a week than posting 4 times in 1 week and then the next week you ghost completely because you're so overwhelmed and you have like no time to create more pieces of content, right? Like, I'd rather you spread out those 4 pieces of content into 2 weeks than you creating 4 pieces of content in 1 week and then ghosting completely, because this fucks up with the algorithm, but this also again gives that lack of trust with the audience that you want to build, because people needs to have a sense of trust, and if you're not showing up consistently, it's really hard to create. Staying consistent is really about setting realistic goals for yourself. For example, for me, right now, I am pretty busy. I'm working a lot on the program. I'm creating so much new things, okay? And so I know that a realistic goals for me is to be posting 1 episode per week on my YouTube and on all streaming platforms, right? Because if I was trying to also keep up with like my Instagram and my TikTok and trying to post like 3 times a day or trying to post like 4 times in a week, I know that that would be too much for me right now. Okay, and so this has to make sense and be realistic for the time that you have to give to that. And to be honest, it's always better to go with the quality over the quantity, because if you create more content but it doesn't actually convert, it's not actually serving an audience, and it's not really building your personal brand, and you're just doing it because you feel like you have to push out more content, it's not really serving anyone at the end of the day. Now that we've covered all of that, okay, let's jump into when you will be filming. Okay, so the goal here is to optimize your time so that you can save time for filming, but also make content creation fit in your schedule instead of having your schedule trying to fit in the content creation. And this is something that I see a lot happen, which is why people are not really consistent, is because they're focusing so much on creating the content itself, and they're not really looking at the schedule that they have and the time gap that they have to create that content. And so it doesn't work with the schedule that they have, because they're trying to fit their schedule in the content creation instead of taking the content creation and fitting it in their schedule that they already have. For your filming time, I have 3 main things for you that will absolutely save you time and make you like that badass bitch that like gets shit done. Okay, so number 1 option is filming while doing a daily task. Okay, this is really great, because I'm sure that every day there's shit that like you do every single day. For example, like every morning you get up, you get ready in the morning, you do your hair, you do makeup, whatever. Okay, for example, for me, I know that I do that, right? And so this could be a time in the morning where you take an extra 15 minutes to film a video. Let's say that like one video takes you 15 extra minutes, okay? Have 15 extra minutes while you do that daily task in the morning before you go to work. This could also even be afterward, right? So like you're taking off your makeup, you're doing your skincare, right? Like content creation can literally be anything. And it doesn't mean that, let's say you're doing your makeup or you're taking off your makeup, that you have to be talking about getting ready or about doing your makeup. You can be talking about business or like anything else while you are doing a daily task. Now, the second option is my personal favorite, because I feel like it makes me so much more productive and I'm really focused on getting the task done, which is batching blocks. Okay, so batching blocks is when you take time in your day. For example, you have 1 hour block to film your content pieces. So you just batch all your video into the same time gap instead of spreading it throughout the week. So you would just film all your videos in 1 to 3 hours for the whole week. When I go into batching my content, I'm so in the mindset of like, okay, I'm going to film all my videos. Like, this is what I do, right? And even for my episodes, sometimes I do them weekly, but if I have more time, I'll batch them one after the other one for the month. And this just saves me so much time into getting ready, doing the light setup, doing all the setup, right? Like, it's just like I do them all at once and it's done, and all I have to focus on after is editing, right? And so this saves me so much time. And so this is where you need to figure out, is there a time in the week, is there one day that I have 1 hour free, that I have, let's say, 3 hours free? And I'm sure that you do. Like, I am certain that you do. Okay, and if you don't, that's a problem. Okay. You need to at least have that much time to have time for yourself as well, right? Like, because we need to be prioritizing building our personal brand if you want to see that success. Now, finally, the third option is your working content. So this is like the content that, for example, when you are actively working on your business or when you are actively doing a service, you will be filming while you're actually working, right? And so this is really, really great to optimize your time because you're already doing what you want people to see or associate you with, right? And so why don't you use that time to film yourself for, I don't know, like 2 to 3 minutes, and then you can just do a voice over and say whatever you have to say. And if you choose to do this one, you want to figure out, number one, what are the days that you will be filming, right? Like, is it predictable? Is it like every Saturday that you work on your business? Is it every Sunday? Is it every like Wednesday or whatever, right? Like, is it predictable so that you can plan it in your schedule? And then is there at least one day that you can do that, right? And so you can really show the people hands-on what you do. And you just want to pick like what makes the most sense to you and what feels the best to you, right? Because there's no right answer. And so what feels the best? Now that you have figured out when you'll be filming, now is the time to be creating your schedule. Yay. Okay. Let me just take a quick matcha break, okay? How much time does it take you to film one video? Just one video. Like, how much time does that take you? Okay, and so this is the extra time that you are going to incorporate in your daily task or your dedicated time during the week to film your content. Next is going to be, how much time does it take you to edit your video and write your caption and do your hashtag and all that stuff? All right, so now you know how much time it takes you to film one video and how much time it takes you to edit and do the caption for one video or one content piece. So now that you have these two elements and you know exactly how much time it's going to take you, then you're going to look at what fits in my schedule. How much pieces of content am I able to create every single week? So let's say, for example, to film a piece of content, it takes me 30 minutes. And then to edit and do the caption, it takes me an hour. So that's an hour and a half for one singular piece of content. So like in my schedule, where do I have 1 hour and a half of extra? And let's say during my week, I actually have 3 hours of extra. So this means I can create 2 pieces of content every week. So now that you figured that out, okay, now you're actually going to go in your calendar. If you're not already using a calendar, you need a calendar for this, okay? This is like the most important step because you need to get this done, okay? So you're gonna open your calendar, okay? Google Calendar is the best in my opinion. I love seeing all the little different colors and all the little different tags that I do. I feel it's amazing. I just know exactly what everything is. And then you're going to put in your calendar when you are going to film, okay? So is it in your daily task? Is it going to be block time? Is it going to be when you are working? And what are the days that you are filming every single week, right? And it's so much easier to stay consistent when you are filming the same day every week. Okay, so this is a very, very like good tip to remember. It's so simple, but it makes the biggest difference, I swear. So in your calendar, you should have, okay, the time that it takes you to film and when you will be filming, like what are the days that you're filming? What are the days that you will be editing and doing the caption? Once you know that, you are going to create your content pillar schedule. Okay, so content pillars are your main topic. So what are the days that you are going to be posting about each topics? Right? And so let's say Monday you talk about manifestation, and then Wednesday you talk about mindset. Okay, so okay, I'm posting twice a week. This day is going to be this topic, and this day is going to be that topic. And lastly, for your schedule, you can also optimize your time by scheduling your post. Okay, so what scheduling your post means is basically like you can upload your post to automatically post by itself. Okay, so YouTube has that feature, which is amazing. I always use it. Instagram also has that feature, so you can actually go ahead, upload your video as if you were posting it, but you schedule it for whatever day you want to be posting. And so when you edit and you do your caption, you already are uploading it and it's done. You don't have to think about it anymore. It's already done. And now you cannot watch this whole video without knowing about how to not burn out, okay? Because that used to be me, especially back then. I was also working at a job in Sephora. I was also taking clients. I was also creating content for brands. I was doing so many things at the same time, and I was really trying to post literally every day, but I was getting so burned out, and it came to the point where like I literally didn't feel like posting anything or literally filming because it was not fun, because I didn't feel good. Like I was so overworked, I was so overwhelmed, and I don't want that to happen to you if you want to be consistent. Okay, so let's jump into this. This is very important. First thing is to build yourself a priority list of 3 to 5 priority max. Okay, not anything else, just 3 to 5 priority maximum. And this is really going to help you keep your focus and your energy on the right things and the right places. Okay, and this helped me so much, even though it's so simple. It's so simple, but if you don't write down what your priorities are, you're going to be all over the place, and then we're back to not being able to be consistent. What I see most of the time happen is that people have like priorities, but then they don't act according to them because it's like, it's not written down on paper, right? And so when you see it, it's so much easier to get organized after that. The next thing is to be building momentum before wanting to post more, right? Because what most of the time happens is that people try to do too much at first, and then you just are back to zero because you can't keep up with it. And like, I really relate to this because that used to be me. And I learned that like, okay, it's best to like actually start with less. And what this does is that you actually get so much better at keeping up with that very, very simple schedule of content, and then you become faster at doing it, so then you can add more in as the time goes. Next thing you can do is saving up on time by delegating your task to someone else. Okay, and so I know that you have either a full-time job or a part-time job right now. With a part of the money that you are making right now, you can use that money to invest a small portion into yourself, into your goals, into what you actually want out of life, and delegate that to someone else to save you time so that you can have more time to do the things that actually matters to you. Okay, and so for this, you can go on Upwork. There's so many people that you can find that like it's so affordable and you have literally no reason not to do it. Like, this is amazing if you want to be saving up time on, let's say, editing, that you have long form content or even short form content. Can be really, really great for you. It could be even like tasking your business, stuff like that. Like, it's so worth investing, because at the end of the day, when you invest in yourself, it always comes back to you. Next thing I will say is to stop listening to 3,000 different advice on content creation, on personal branding, on running your business, on, doing content creation, whatever, because this just blurs your mind, and this is what makes you overwhelmed. Like, this is what makes you overwhelmed. When you're listening to too many different advice that like contradicts each other, you just have to listen to the advice that you find resonate with you, makes you feel good, makes you feel like this is what you want your life or your content creation or your business to be like. These are the advice you want to be listening to, right? The ones that make you feel good, that make sense for you and what you want. You don't need to be applying all these different advice from everybody else. And finally, you need a content strategy that works for you and the results that you are looking to have so that you can actually effortlessly reach your goals and have that be sustainable and consistent. And this is exactly what I show my clients how to do by building a strong, powerful personal brand so that they can actually turn their passion into their paycheck. And if you want to know how this could apply to you or your business, feel free to book your discovery call with me, and it is totally free. So feel free to do so. It is going to be down below for the link, okay? If you love this episode, share it to someone, tag me in your story, show me that you're listening. I love to know what you guys thought of this episode, and I'll see you here next week. Stay amazing. Thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to leave your 5-star rate and review on the podcast. I love to know what you guys think of the episodes, and I will meet you here next week.